We're in the 1600 workshop, and I have not updated you on this section in a long time, and a lot has changed. The core drillers are working back this way. Just some of the boxes for the core samples right there. You can probably, you can maybe hear the whine of the core drill doing its thing. The mucker, the other equipment has been put back here out of the way. This is the kind of thing you'd be super excited to see if we came across it in an abandoned mine. Whole drift full of tools and equipment back there. Big changes though here. We've got this structure here, and the reason for this is that the geologist says we're running this way for the next drift. The next core drilling station is going to be set back probably 100 and I forget what he said, 150 feet or so back this way. Of course, yeah, right in the middle of our 1600 workstation. There's that big tank right there. We didn't feel like moving out all this infrastructure, such as that horrendously huge tank and all this stuff. So what we did is, these are steel sets here, you couldn't tell. We're going to start out with pretty low intensity blasts and start pushing back, and this lagging as such will hopefully protect the equipment here from being damaged. And then once we get back a decent ways, then we can start using the more intense charges and avoid damaging equipment, because they'll just push it out towards us rather than blowing out to the sides and damaging everything back here. So we'll see if that works or not. That'll be interesting to see. An old welder here. How cool is this? That is a very vintage piece of equipment. So we're not going to be doing any drilling or blasting until the core drillers are done. I think they have another 19 days if I remember what they said correctly. But when they're done, we're going to start running back this way. The ground, I think I've said before, the ground going west has been really crumbly and flaky. On this level, up above it's great, but on this level it's pretty crumbly and flaky. So we'll see what happens. See what happens. The blade's gonna go up first. You can see.
We have pony sets on top of these, because they took the back out.
Got you.
20, 30 years ago.
The blade's going up first so you can see what's involved. And climbing up there. Makes for more interesting video. Mining and mine exploring are a good workout. Just climbed up from down there. We're on first level here. See the rope goes up to this blocked off section, and we're hanging out on top of these timbers here. And this passage runs back that way. You can see the rock there. The vein is back here, just to my left here. Juicy looking quartz right there. The main action though is what's up here. See, that's an ore chute right there. It's blocked off down below, but that is an ore chute, and this raise runs up on the left. So I'm going to climb up there, get a better look at that. It's all rotted. That ladder is not usable, unfortunately. It's completely rotted. Climbed up through where my buddy's squeezing now. See, the vein continues to run up here. Got a good view of the raise for you. There's looking up the raise. And you know what? That's the end there. That's the top of this raise. However, you see that ventilation pipe running right to left? That means there's got to be a drift up there. Now, we've shown you the stope on the right, but when we were up on the right looking through, we couldn't see because this ore chute was blocking things. So what we don't know is what's to the left there. This is vertical in case you couldn't pick up on that. So we need to figure out a way to get up there and see where that goes to the left. If you notice when I exhale, it's getting sucked up there pretty quickly, which is implying airflow, which means that might run somewhere, even up to the second level. So this is a priority mystery for us to solve. That's looking up that way, and this is what is behind me. It was a huge ore chute. Well, it still is, but when it was working, that was big. Another beautiful day up in the mountains. What are we up to today, you might ask? Well, doing an important painting job. Despite the fact that we have water dripping down all over us, despite the fact that this wood is thoroughly saturated, see all the wood drops on the steel, the wood itself is completely saturated. You can see the drops dripping down between my buddy and me. Despite the fact that we're standing in a creek, MSHA has decreed that the first 200 feet of the mine must be covered in fire-resistant paint, even though it would be impossible to get this wood burning unless we were to send it toward the surface of the sun or something like that, or soak it in gasoline. Still, got to be painted in fire-resistant paint. So that's what we're working on today. Not easy to paint, is it?
Nope.
Thoroughly saturated. Well, we have to scrape it off first to just get a surface to even be able to paint on and get the paint on, and then it pretty quickly starts dripping. The water is so saturated it just starts kind of running off. It's really not much fun at all. We're back at the 1600, and I wanted to give you an update on what's going on back here because there's a lot going on. We just rode this trammer in, and this is the section where the next drift is going to go. You can see it's already drilled out. Got the drill sitting right there. Now you'll remember there's all this infrastructure around here. Probably one of the most inconvenient places in the mine for the geologist to say to run the next drift. But that's what we're doing. Remember all the stuff back there as well. So the geologist has us running the next drift here, and there's quite possibly some older workings we're going to tap into by running back that way as well, which we're all hoping to hit. Now, our oh, you hear my voice crack there? Now, our main, or I should say our head mining engineer, has come up with this system for protecting the infrastructure, which is to build this cage, essentially, around where we're going to be blasting. We're a little skeptical. We're obviously going to use a smaller blast until we get back far enough that we can resume normal blasting. But so this cage is supposed to protect all the infrastructure while we're doing smaller scale blasting. All the muck will be shot down there, and then we'll use a slusher to haul it up on this ramp and into an ore car that'll be waiting right here. So that's the main mining engineer, or head mining engineer's plan. We're a little skeptical, but we'll see how it goes. Eventually, this is going to have to go so we can run track, get a switch in down here. I'll show you what it's like underneath. Get a switch in down here and run the track back and get the mucker and everything, you know, once we get farther back. But I thought it was pretty innovative. Got to give him credit for that. Pretty innovative. We'll see if it works. Do have some doubt, but one way or another it will work. Just see how much money and damage is done on the way, versus how much money is spent and how much damage is done on the way. Then we cut this open. Remember there's those boards running across here. We cut these open so you can get back to our bench and our workbench and all that stuff back here. Here's how that looks from the side. So you just bend them to the right, and then there's that chute right there. And we'll anchor the slusher, well, somewhere off of that rib, and then hold out. It'll be interesting to see it working. I don't think I've shown you guys a slusher in operation. hopefully I'll be here when they're doing it. I'm not sure how far we're going to run back before we switch over to the mucker there. Windy up here today. This sucks. Drillers are having problems with too much water just blasting into the holes they're drilling, so they've got to haul this equipment back so they can grout the holes are getting drilled out, line the sides. It's gonna be real interesting getting all this back. Modifying an ore car right now, so this will be able to fit on it. But that should be entertaining to watch. Not so much fun to load, but entertaining to watch.
There's no leak at the...
Yeah, it's awesome. We'll load this up using the excavator, but still not going to be easy. Got my doubts about some of these, especially that first section, that first S-curve is. You've got to get way down to get through that. I don't know if that's going to clear that or not.
Yeah, or like a block we can put under this and we can just take it off here. I'll get him out here.
Are you good, Mike?
No, I was just wanting to get it off. I'm gonna back up. Can you flip the frog?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So that's the horseshoe, huh?
Yeah, it's a backwards horseshoe.
I know. What are they doing? Did Sean approve that?
I don't know.
Hopefully they're just doing it. It's like we're getting an horseshoe.
You know, Aaron loves to build things out of wood here. Alright, ready?
But Joe's the one that came up with the slushing.
You ready to go?
Yeah.
Alright, going forward.
Yeah. Yeah. Keep it coming. Come on. Move that box a little.
All right.
Keep it coming. Yes, sir.
You coming? Come on.
Done and unloaded.
I'm really hoping we punch that old bird. No, I have a good chance.